I can only imagine like what it feels like to be born, like born from the womb, because I know it's only been 2 weeks and I've been bored, I've been distracted, I've been working, I've been growing, I've been hustling, I've been working out, I've been doing all these things and preparing to emerge back out in the world when everything is ready to go. So I just feel like once all of these parts are finally installed on the bus and the cosmetic stuff is finished, I'm going to emerge into the world and be reborn. You can tell me if I'm losing it, okay? I don't think I'm losing it yet. I've got a kettlebell shoulder workout for you. We're gonna do a little bit of stretching with bands, a little bit of delivering some blood to the muscle group before we get started on some working sets with the kettlebell. We're gonna do that with some bands. And I'm gonna also do a couple of intuitive moves to open up the chest, get the neck loosened up, and then we're gonna start pumping the shoulders up. Let's do it. Top tier point bun rocking and rolling. Meet my kettlebell. She's pink and beautiful. So she is about 17.5 pounds, I think. But first we're going to warm up with some bands and stretch and some intuitive movement. So you guys can see from the side what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so however it feels comfortable to you, on your shins, on your knees, whatever feels good. Sitting cross-legged, one of these bad boys, whatever. I get the most movement, and I can also just be a little bit freer with my shit if I'm on my shins so I can pop off. So let's start with neck rolls. Just nice and slow. Feel those spots that just like really suck today. They hurt. You slept on your face. Coffee didn't help. If you find one of those spots that just feels a little tight, spend a little bit of extra time rocking back and forth there. Flow through it. Sure we're looking all the way up, getting that full scalene stretch. I know most of us are like all day long. Can even kind of pick your head up a little bit and stretch it yourself. Nice and gently. Like I said, just intuitively. If you feel any pain, around 6 or 7 is pretty good. If it stays at a 7, maybe stop. If it goes above a 7, definitely shut it down. But other than that, allow yourself to roll through it. Triceps. Triceps. Okay, so we're going to do some up and overs, and we're sitting at that full rotation on our shoulders. You can use a bar or you can use a band. I like bands because some days I am just not as flexible as others. So give that a good stretch, create some resistance on the outside of the shoulders. Pull those traps together, so a difference of like being like this, and give that a full rotation. Some pops and cracks, and try not to arch your back here. We want to stay neutral, keep the hips underneath. Just some solid passovers here. If you want more of a challenge, come in a little bit closer in your bands, bring your hands a little closer together. Pull, create more resistance. Up and over. And you're going to notice real fast which of your shoulders is more tight. So go ahead, keep that back neutral, and find those tight spots, man. Make this workout count, right? Get the full mobility, full flexibility, and then that full blood channel just pumping right in there. You just imagine it. The blood just going, bah. And now it's in your shoulders and you're huge. That's what we're doing right now. Creating those channels. I do love to just kind of move intuitively. One more stretch and then we're gonna get this party started. I'm gonna use my sink because it's probably the most sturdy thing here right now. I'm gonna band it up and I'm going to grab it, wrap my hand, unless you've got a shorter band, a tighter band, a thicker band. This is a very lightweight band. So just making more resistance by shortening it and then wrapping it around my hand and giving myself some leverage. Again, neutral spine. So we don't want to need this because then we're not doing anything. We're just like here stretching. We want to stretch that shoulder. So we're neutral spine, allowing ourselves to turn open. If you feel any pinching in that rear delt and your scapula, go ahead and unwind. If you want more angles, tie it up higher, or me here, I'm just gonna drop down, switch. keep it even. And it's gonna, like if you have a tighter band, tighter shoulders, this is gonna take a second. You do wanna hold these for like no less than a minute. Go for 1.5 or 2 minutes. It'll make your day. The body responds to a little bit more time under tension and will release far more. Remember to breathe, keep that blood circulating. If we stop, everything slows down. We can build up all of those chemicals in our body that makes us sore as fuck. Okay, we're just gonna start with some upright rows, something super simple. And if you wanna add a little extra razzle dazzle, Riz, perhaps, you're gonna wanna drop it down and swap arms. So here's the one, boom, just single arm, allowing that kettlebell to move neutrally with your shoulder. Dumbbell, even a band would work. But today we're doing kettlebell because I need to lift a little heavier today. Been doing more band work and calisthenics works, and I just miss lifting. Okay, so there's what that looks like. Get about 10 to 12 in here. A little bit more if you're using lighter weight. You can slow the reps down in any exercise to get a little bit more out of it. If you want to do lesser reps, lighter weight, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. And here, if you want to mix it and mash it up with just a little bit more energy into this movement, less rigidity and more movement, what you want to do is come here, drop it down, get into a squat. We don't want to have our hips above our shoulders at any point. Boom. Okay. Drop it down. And we're going to use just a little bit of momentum to drive that bad boy up, set it down, switch, boom. Continue to do that. It's going to burn a little bit more calories, but you're also using some momentum. So just remember that you're not lifting as much when you're using some momentum and energy from your legs. And remember, we're not bending over, we're coming straight down. Let's do 3 sets of those. So either focused or the kettlebell squat combo. I'm actually sweating already. How do you make sweatpants small? I thought I was gonna be cold. And here's a really good one. So we're gonna create some resistance in 2 different ways here. So what I did was, I've got my kettlebell and I've got my light band here, and you don't need the band, but I like the idea of having the kettlebell pulled forward slightly for this motion, for this movement. So I just wrapped it around once, just underneath like that. Right now it's just attached to a handle on one of my cabinets, on one of my drawers. And I'm gonna do some rows, some bent over rows. So I'm getting a little bit of resistance that way, and then I'm able to bend over and pull back. Just a little bit. Because we're going for delts here, so you just want to keep that in mind. Doing delts, you want to bring that elbow past parallel on your back there. So as I'm pulling, elbow's coming past parallel, we're getting that full extension and flexion here in that rear delt. Let's do 10 to 12 on each side. Want to get a little crazy with it, you can do a cross body leverage by picking your leg up. Yeah. And then doing some rear delt rows and focusing on that balance. Okay, and now we are back down on the floor. So we're gonna do some overhead presses. So you definitely want to get positioned here where you feel strong and grounded. So I'm gonna cross my legs for this one. And you want to hold the kettlebell in a way that's comfortable for you. Sometimes that's in front, but honestly, that puts too much pressure on the rear part of your shoulder here and goes down your back. So what I would advise doing is flipping it and getting comfortable with this motion, because up here, you're gonna have so much more leverage to be able to push forward while you're keeping that spine neutral. And you can even lock in with this other hand on your knee and drive up. A little bit wobbly, slow that rep down, get more control. And depending on how heavy your kettlebell is, I mean, you're gonna feel it. Allow that neutral, natural rotation as well. Bring the elbow in, allowing that rotation to come up. Let's do 10 on each side. We're getting strong. Cool. Other side, baby. So grab that kettlebell, flip her onto the other side, get to work. Locked and loaded here. Let me adjust the butt walk. My way back here so you can see what's going on. Leverage, drive up, neutral spine, 10 here. And I want you to really like get that full extension, really reach all the way up. Feel that stretch in your serratus, your lat. Get that full flexion in the delt up top. And breathe. Cool. And I wanted to show you this move from the side as well, so that you can see what the leverage looks like, what's the grounded position looks like. You can also do these standing, but I prefer to do them seated because I get the leverage and I really can extend that overhead. Feel all this stretch and also feel very grounded. I'm not having any pressure in my lower back. So, boom. Let that just rest right there on your arm. Keep a neutral spine, neutral neck. Drive all the way up, stretch, stretch, stretch. Stretch it all 10 times and just keep breathing. Woo! The last 2 reps should be challenging, so if you want to do your reps until then, just make sure they're even on both sides and you should be good. Let's do 3 sets of those, like 10 to 12 if you got a pretty good weight here. So like I said, this is about 17 pounds, so I'm actually feeling pretty strong out here on the road. So our next move is going to be a front raise. And if you need to, you can use momentum, but what I would advise is not using momentum until you need it. So you can grab your kettlebell neutrally, or you can grab it on top here with palms facing down, and you can execute them like this or like this, whatever feels good for you. I know we all out there got a bunch of little tiny shoulder probs, so yours truly does. Let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start neutral. I think I've got this all the way through. Let's do about 10 to 12 reps, see how that feels. Last 2 reps should be a little challenging, a little bit of a struggle. Let's breathe all the way through. You want to lift that weight up to your eyes so that you're staring right at the middle of that kettlebell. Spine neutral. 12. Yeah. And the last one if you want a challenge. So, damn, I am such a little grease goblin. So we're just gonna do some little KB cleans, okay? You can start from the floor, or you can start here, very neutral. And all you're gonna do is use some momentum, keeping your back straight, drawing a straight line with the kettlebell up, and as if you were doing an upright row, leading with that elbow. Going to give yourself a little bit of momentum starting at the ground. Drop it down here, whatever feels comfortable for you. Maybe get a wider stance. Boom, allow that wrist to be neutral. You're going to drop, create some momentum coming up. Once you get to this point where the kettlebell is at your shoulder, all you're going to do is flip. Okay, and this takes a little bit of mastery to not hurt your wrist, and it takes momentum, a smooth movement. So I definitely recommend working with something lighter before you go hard in the paint. But this is what it looks like whole time. So here, nice and straight up, boom, clean. Allowing it to fall on a part of your arm that locks it in here, bingo bango. So it's landing on that more girthy part of your arm, not hitting any bone. Pop it off and allow it to come back down. Boom, boom. You get better at it as time goes on, and that hard thud that you get on your shoulder turns into a light little knock. And I highly advise finding something like a chirp wheel or a yoga block to stretch your chest back open. Take some deep breaths over top of it, loosen up a little bit. And this workout does not have to be done on a bus. It can be done in a gym, but can also be done on a bus, man. Probably in a van too. Oh, that feels good. But I wanted to put something together for y'all that was about 30-35 minutes, 4 to 5 moves, and something fun for you to try. Something, a full kettlebell workout, something beginners can do, something advanced people could do, and get a pretty damn good workout, get their movement in, feel accomplished, and also feel more in touch with their body before they start the day. I'm queen of the chirp wheel and the kettlebell, and having 3 cups of coffee before 10. I'm also realizing, actually I realized halfway through, but I don't want to change it, that I shot all of this vertically. So if this is like feasible, just because the angle of the bus, right? The long length of the bus, this seems to be the good go-to. But if you would prefer horizontal, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you like this training. Let me know if you want more. Let me know if you want me to experiment. I am totally down to make something wiry and fun, and whatever you're thinking. If you want to challenge me, go ahead. Just having a lot of fun with it. I've got time, and I'm down for the adventure. So thanks for hanging, and I hope you try this workout.